there's a few topics of discussion I want to bring to the table tonight. One of which is we're going to start off with something a little bit light to begin with, just so that we ease things into something pleasant. Word is from... I'm actually going to post the link into the chat, because apparently the trailer for Jurassic World 2 is actually hitting theaters in December, but it's going to be before something to the effect of it's going to beat the Star Wars curse. So we're going to get some idea of what we're going to expect. Oh, Oni's just joined us in the chat. Hey, good luck, you guys. Got an hour left before I head out to work. He's going like, oh, gosh dang it, dude. He knows I mean it with affection. Because if I really want to be creepy, Oni, you're my dearest friend. I'd like to spend eternity with you. Like, stop that. No.
Not touching that.
No, Raiden,
You've been replaced by Stepford.
There are some plot details I've heard from Jurassic World 2. We know Jeff Goldblum is coming back as Ian Malcolm, but in what role, we don't really particularly know. Stephen Walker says, also, leave it about minutes. I have to head up to work due to morning shifts. We understand, dude. We understand.
All good. All good.
Catch up later.
James Cromwell is going to be playing John Locksmith, who was a silent partner to John Hammond setting up the first park. And a portion of the movie is actually going to take place within the United Kingdom, so that's going to be intriguing. From other videos I've been seeing, I'll drop a couple of links in the chat in due course. Apparently, they are going to go back to Isla Nublar, and Owen is actually going to, in a vain rescue attempt, to rescue Blue, because apparently the government's moving in on the island. I'm like, oh goody, we're doing this shit again.
That concept?
Oh, jeez.
I said, another government concept? Really?
Yes. And here's another thing. We are going to be introduced to the Indoraptor.
What?
Huh?
Apparently, think Indominus Rex being able to camouflage, but raptor size.
Oh, no.
Oh,
What is
dear.
this predator? What is this predator?
May as well be.
The fuck up.
I mean, this, like I say, from various videos that have been going through, let me just find. Yeah, this is the applicable video. As before, I'll drop it into the live chat so you can actually see what I'm talking about. And obviously, for you guys, just remember when you're watching this to either have it either on low volume or have your speakers on, which for Win that won't apply to you because obviously you've already got your speakers on, you already got your headset on anyway.
Yep, I plugged in my earbuds to the little jack splitter.
The guy came up with some interesting points and what have you, but I like the fact that Universal are kind of keeping hush-hush about it. They're not really releasing too much, except somebody's doing what they shouldn't be doing and is actually releasing small little details onto the internet. I know they were going to try and do something different with the second movie, because obviously, as much as I love the fourth movie for everything that it is, it does feel like they tried to, it was like a kind of a rework of the first movie, but the park actually opened and did well for a time until someone decided to be stupid. And from what I am understanding, based upon the plot details, a lot of people have been saying about the fifth movie is it looks like it's going to be a rehash of The Lost World. Because they're taking dinosaurs off the island again.
Okay.
Oh, because everybody loved that.
I mean, when you look at the last act of Jurassic Park 2, you can deny this all you want to. It's a modern rework of King Kong, bringing like an eighth wonder of the world to the mainland, but it runs amok. Mind you, if the T-Rex have been climbing the Empire State Building, I can imagine the descendants of the King Kong movie going like, "Where's my lawyer?" Yeah. I don't know. I think people are going to be paying more attention to the fact next year is going to be Jurassic Park's 25th. And it's... I mean, we've talked about this at length before. That movie has aged incredibly well. When you look at the writing, the cinematography, to even like the CG, when it was used in that way, even though it was experimental, it still holds up. I mean, particularly with the gag that a lot of people rip off now, objects in mirror may be closer than they appear, which they ripped on that joke for Toy Story 2 in '99 when they had Rex coming up to Mr. Potato Head from behind in the toy barn. And oddly enough, it was actually Dennis Nedry playing the corrupt toy shop owner, which I find that a little bit ironic, but yeah, it is what it is. I think with Universal, they're trying and cash in on as much with the Jurassic Park franchise, because up until they had the 14-year gap between that Jurassic Park movie that none of us like to talk about, you know, the one that we give the Batman and Robin treatment. and then Jurassic World, there was a gap of 4 years for every movie, because Jurassic Park was out in '93, Lost World was out in '97, and that movie in 2001. I think now they're just trying to cash it in whilst it's good. I mean, I know some people have their misgivings with the fourth movie, but I loved it.
Me too.
Although I do share some of Random's opinions, where he basically calls the I-Rex a original Characterosaurus, do not steal. But at that point, it was just taking genetic meddling to the next level, which is basically what they were doing. Although, say what you will about the story that they had for that movie, the one abandoned story that they were going to do was having dinosaur and human hybrids. Yeah, that. Live from Japan, it's Kaiju Noir.
Hey, everybody.
What's up?
What up, Kaiju?
Hi.
Hey, everybody. Sorry I'm late.
Dude,
Good, man.
Better
I
late than
can't
never.
judge. I'm always late.
Stephen, the way that you would be able to join a hangout is if you get sent an invitation. Depending on how this goes later, and this is one of the reasons I didn't invite you last week. Not because I don't want you in. You know that ain't the case. It's because there's already 5 of us in here. And as much as I love Alog, and I do, he's a great guy, he has this little tendency to talk over everyone. And the reason
I didn't want to say anything,
because once he came in, it would have been difficult for you to be able to get a look at it. And I know you've been chomping at the bit to get in one of these, and I will find a way to get you in either tonight or next week. If not this week, next week, guaranteed. All right? I'm not leaving you out on purpose, dude. You know that. And this is the thing, this girl, you'll get this impression when you come into the Survivor Series panel. It's not just Oni. You have to share space with Cone82, great guy, and various other people that want in on this. So it's going to be difficult to get around the table, but we'll make it work. Mind you, I've been doing this for the better part of, gosh dang, I've been doing panels for 7 years now. I feel old. I'll just bring Kaiju up to speed. Some plot details have been released for, mind you, rumored plot details for Jurassic World 2.
Okay.
Apparently, the role of John Locksmith that James Cromwell is going to be playing is a silent partner of John Hammond when he set up the first park. A lot of it is going to take place on Isla Nublar, and some of it is going to take place over in the United Kingdom. And there is apparently a thing now called the Indoraptor. They're going genetic meddling again.
Just think of the Predator. Well, not genetic, but invisible stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
think the I-Rex, but Velociraptor sized.
Okay, all right.
Hang on, let me just now some of the things that the guy came up with. I don't know if this is legit or if it's just something off hearsay he's going by. But some of the things he had to say, like imagine what the I-Rex could do, but then have it Velociraptor size. It's like, oh.
Yeah, I can definitely see how that could, like, up the ante. Instead of having a big lumbering monster, you have a swift and fast, intelligent creature, and then make that creature even more dangerous through genetic manipulation. Although I do kind of think that if they're going to go the genetic manipulation route, I would kind of like them to go all out to make like a crazy, bizarre, brand new dinosaur. Because as cool as the I-Rex was, it didn't look all that original for a brand new genetic hybrid dinosaur. I'm thinking, like, if you're gonna go with a hybrid dinosaur, I was thinking like you should go like all out with a very crazy design. Like, what if you had like a T-Rex with the horns of a Triceratops, with the spikes of a Stegosaurus, with the strength of a Brachiosaurus, something like really crazy, like kind of like the what was it called, the Jurassic Park Chaos Effect hybrid toys. Let's see. There was one where I think it was like a Velociraptor meets an Archaeopteryx. That was one of like the main dinosaurs from that Chaos Effect toy line. But I would kind of hope that if they are going to go with a genetically engineered or genetically manipulated Velociraptor, I hope it's not just a Velociraptor that's slightly paler than a normal Velociraptor, or like a Velociraptor that's slightly bigger than usual.
Yeah.
The other plot.
I'd like to see. Well, sorry.
No. No. My apologies. Okay. I interrupted the lady. The lady must continue.
Sorry. Well, I'd like to see like that raptor have like the little scary like thing that like had that tiny little raptor from the tiny little creature from the first movie that spit acid in your face.
I remember that.
Dilophosaurus.
Funnily enough,
yes.
Images have been released, and we're going to possibly see a face-off between a Dilophosaurus and a Velociraptor, which I thought, it's going to be good.
I hope it's going to be like a full-size Dilophosaurus, because we never had that, strangely enough.
The other little thing...
Yeah, I think they're way bigger in
definitely bigger than a man. Mm-hmm.
The other plot details I've been hearing is that...
that's scary.
Owen's going to go back to Isla Nublar to get Blue.
Oh, okay.
Which, that'll be intriguing, and the T-Rex is apparently being taken off the island, and I thought, oh no, we're doing the second movie again. No. Because look how well that turned out for the people of San Diego.
Yeah, I mean, we're still reeling from the damages back then.
That sucks.
But I've pretty much said, because one of the Steven Spielberg's favorite movies was King Kong, and when you look at the third act of Lost World, call it all you want to, it's basically ripping off King Kong.
Oh yeah, or I would say it's more for me personally. It's more of like the movie's namesake, The Lost World. at the end of like the original 1930, no, not 32, 1925, The Lost World, a bunch of explorers go to an island filled with dinosaurs. They find a brontosaurus that is injured and knocked out. They bring the brontosaurus to London, and it wakes up and it breaks out, and it runs amok until it eventually gets back into the water and swims all the way back home. So I kind of had the feeling that much because it's called The Lost World Jurassic Park, that was more of an homage towards the finale of its namesake, perhaps. And, The Lost World itself was made by the special effects director, Willis O'Brien, went on to do King Kong and pretty much like took everything he learned from The Lost World into King Kong. So it's really not, it's not all that surprising then to notice that both King Kong and The Lost World ended up with practically the same finale.
And as I mentioned before you came in, I think Universal are trying to cash in on the Jurassic Park franchise as much as possible, because I don't think they want to leave another gap of 14 years, because up until said gap, there was a movie every 4 years. I mean, Jurassic Park was 93, Lost World was 97, and that movie from 2001 that Win and I like to give the Batman and Robin treatments. Like, we like to pretend this didn't happen.
Okay.
Yeah, it's as I've said quite a few times, whether it been in the 2015 end of year panel or when we did the 18th anniversary for Jurassic Park, if Sam Neill had not been in Jurassic Park 3, I don't think it would have been as good as it was, because he was the saving grace of that movie.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. And it was like one of the few things that felt familiar enough that for it to connect to the past films of the franchise.
Yeah. Hey, Big Battle, how you doing? If no one's got anything to add to the details that they've been told with Jurassic World 2, there is a subject I want to move on to, and I think Raiden knows where I'm going with this.
I think.
Anybody want to say anything?
Oh boy!
Anything on Jurassic World 2 just before we move on to the next one? Because, I want people to have their say.
Well, I'll say something.
Sure.
Well, I'm thinking about Kaiju's idea of having like the hybrid dinosaurs actually be hybrids. I think they should be called something like Chimera, like
right.
That'd be
cool.
Oh,
yeah, because they're like
players' territory.
Yeah, I think that would work. But other than that, I think it sounds interesting.
Make a chimera out of a dinosaur. Wonder how Zelgadis would feel about that.
Oh.
Now I got this image of maybe a raptor and Lena having a face-off, and the raptor just runs in fear after he sees what Lena's about to do. Like, yeah, that'd be intriguing.